So NotTopical back again with the Not Topical podcast, a podcast mostly about movies. I'm Strange Wang, he is Nate. Today, as usual, starting off with movie news. We'll get stuff I don't care about out of the way. Harley Quinn, first looks, Joker 2.
Yeah.
I don't care. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw the newspaper shot. I mean, it looks like it should look. I'm still incredibly intrigued that this movie's supposed to be a musical. I love that direction that they're going in because I thought the first, like the Joker, was a completely 100% fine movie. When I say fine, I mean like it was fine. And then I disliked it more because everyone else blew it out of proportion. So I think considering the divisiveness of the movie, going in a musical direction is a really interesting way to do things. And so I'm not unexcited about it, but I'm more interested in the spectacle than I am about like actually caring about the movie. So, woohoo.
Joker is probably my top 10 least favorite movies of all time. Like, just movies I fucking hate.
Yeah.
That's in there for sure. I don't have much to say about this, but Jonathan Majors got arrested. Violence, abuse accusations.
Mm-hmm.
After that, a couple of directors came out of nowhere and were like, "Oh yeah, Jonathan Majors, he's a very abusive guy." One guy was like GB Allen, and dude, like, he doesn't really work like that, so I don't know how they know one another, but that's out. And then the lawyers said he has evidence that Jonathan Majors didn't do nothing to that lady. So, this movie news, I don't know what to say about it. A little dark.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not true. He's a really good actor. If it is true, I hope he goes to jail for it. But
dude, Mickey Mouse will get him out.
I will never be surprised to hear that a major Hollywood star or actor or actress, if you don't want to call him a star, I think he's a star. I think he's gotten there now.
Bro, he just had three great critically acclaimed films.
Right. And so I will never be surprised to hear that a major Hollywood star or a major athlete or a major musician, I will never be surprised, definitely not won't be surprised to hear about a politician. I will never be surprised to hear any of them are abusive and or creepy and or shady. It just, some people are just bad people. And that doesn't, like, fame does not exclude good people from bad people. There are going to be some shitbags that are famous. So if he is one, I'm not surprised. If he's not one and this is all bullshit, then I hope he gets completely acquitted. So.
And she goes to jail, right?
Well, I don't know about. I'm assuming that I don't know what state this is happening in. Our state has filing false police report charges. I would imagine most states do.
Yeah, like Little Wayne said. Never mind, I ain't gonna say that. He gets canceled. But yeah, I think even if he is guilty, I think Mickey Mouse gonna take a trip over to Scrooge McDuck's house and get him that bag and get him out. Bro, he's the new Thanos. Like, yeah, if he goes to jail,
that just kind of ruins everything for them.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of hope he goes to jail.
Yeah, now. Me too. Like, I want that to be ruined.
I don't want him to go to jail, but I don't want him to go to jail. But I don't like superhero movies. We get too many of them. Yeah. Like, let me get a cool 4 years of no superhero movies. I'd be cool with that.
I would be completely fine with 4 years of no Marvel movies.
I'll be completely fine if they never remade Vertigo, which apparently they're doing with Robert Downey Jr. Stupid. I don't like it. It's so weird because we have a video coming out soon and we speak about Vertigo. I personally think it's a touch overrated because I feel like the main character comes off as dumb. But if you put it in modern times, that dude's gonna come off like a fucking buffoon unless they do some real stupid shit like what they did in Mission Impossible, where they changed the face.
Oh, yeah.
That works in Mission Impossible because it's spies. These are regular ass folks. Unless she's just gonna get on Instagram and find a makeup tutorial and look different.
I mean, there's wigs and shit, and like
I think this movie's just thrown in the trash.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't be. Vertigo is one of the greatest movies of all time. Even if you think it's a touch overrated, I think you could still probably agree it is.
It's a good movie.
At the very least, a top 100 of all time.
Yeah,
movie.
It's a good movie. I don't think it's top 5.
Yeah, so
most list.
Yeah,
that was my argument.
Like, to me, this is like someone remaking Citizen Kane. Yeah. Like, why? Just it was so good. It was essentially the best version of itself already. There's no point in remaking it. And I am slightly conflicted because it's like, I want good movies that aren't superhero movies. And Vertigo is like just an excellent like piece of classic cinema. So it's like, on one hand, I'm glad that someone's touching that. They're at least like getting the name Vertigo in a newer audience's like brains, which may cause people to go back and watch the original one that have never seen it before. So I like it for that reason, but I don't want this movie. I have Vertigo with freaking James Stewart in it. Why do I want Vertigo with Robert Downey Jr. in it? Like,
the only way I think it's gonna work universally if they like Disturbia it.
Because well, and that's the other thing that
Rear Window, my favorite Hitchcock film, one I think is a perfect film top to bottom. You go down to Disturbia, because they did remake it with Superman, which, you know, like, kind of odd because, you know, later on he would end up in a wheelchair permanently himself, so it's like, touchy subject. But then you get to Disturbia, let's change the age. Let's change the neighborhood. Let's change the girl. Let's do this. You know, like, there's so many different variants in it.
Yeah.
That it works as its own movie.
Right. And I feel like that's probably what I feel like they would probably set it in more modern times. And, like, I'm sure they'll tweak some stuff with it. But still.
Like, don't even call it Vertigo.
Yeah.
Call it Sometimes I Get Dizzy. But that's the movie news for this week. Stay tuned for the Not Topical portion of the Not Topical podcast. He's sleepy. Yeah, sleeping with that on.
I got pollen eyes.
Pollen eyes. Well, we got in a fight. You get pulverized. So, back with the Not Topic portion of the podcast. Back in the day, a show came on Netflix that me and Nate were very, very into. And it's called Yugioh. So, we started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! We started playing some Duel Monsters. We weren't very good at these things. And we learned how to be good. We learned about you can make a fuck ton of money from this. So we made a fuck ton of money from it as well. So today we are going to be going through a bracket of the most annoying Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards of all time. How do you feel about this?
I'm really interested in this. I've been playing Master Duel a lot, which is like the app that they made that's basically Duel Links and stuff, but it's on your phone, so it works way better. And it's actually made by Konami. So I have been playing a lot more, I guess what I would call current Yu-Gi-Oh! Than what you have ever played.
Like Links?
I don't really play decks that use Links a ton.
I wouldn't either.
But I play against them a lot. So anyways, I'm curious if there's going to be cards on here that you've never seen before that I know are incredibly annoying because I'm playing against them, but they didn't exist when we played.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I'm super stoked about this. Also, when I asked you if you wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh! On Friday, I had no clue that this was what the bracket was going to be. So maybe it's a sign.
It must be.
All right.
Because literally, I was in Target and looking around. I was actually looking for something else because AEW Wrestling Company, their cards, since the company's so new, they're very flippable.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a car payment, so if I can spend $30 and make $100 or whatever, that's a good deal. So I was looking for that, and I saw a couple Blue Eyes White Dragon Structure decks, and I was like, pretty good. But I did not buy them.
All right, first up we have This is bottomless, right?
That's Trap Hole,
Just
bro.
Okay, Trap
That's
Hole.
OG.
See, I play two current stuff.
Bro,
So
you made deck 3 of those when we first started.
I did. So we got Trap Hole versus the good old MST Mystical Space Typhoon.
That's a Dark Hole.
Is it?
You play Yu-Gi-Oh? Hell, scrub. HT's watching those videos like,
Yeah.
fucking losers.
Yeah, I know.
Dark Hole, it takes away everyone's monsters, and that's annoying.
Well, unless you want your shit in the graveyard.
Yeah, but that depends on the deck. But you always main deck at least one of them to help out the searching with the Regeki.
Yeah, well,
I'm going Dark Hole.
If they wipe your board, and then you get a Dark Hole next turn, it's basically just a Regeki. So, yeah, I agree. Trap Hole sucks losing one monster, losing all of them.
Sometimes you be in desperate form and got to.
All right, Mirror Force, I know what that is.
Okay.
Versus Breakthrough Skill, which I also know what it is, because that's a better card.
See, again, Mirror Force, classic trap. You hit that joint, lose all your monsters. Breakthrough Skill, though,
you lose all attack position monsters.
Yeah. I feel like motherfuckers be forgetting about that shit when it's in the graveyard, though.
I was about to say, Breakthrough Skill, you get 2 monster negates.
Yeah, that shit bites you on your ass sometimes.
And so, honestly, like, getting hit with a Mirror Force was really, really annoying. Nobody plays it anymore because there's so much stuff that can't be destroyed by card effects or whatever. And there's lots of stuff that can't be targeted also. But I think Breakthrough Skill is more annoying because nothing's worse than, like, playing old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Where, like, you go, like, 10, 11 turns in and you forgot they activated that shit on turn 2 and you didn't say, let me see your graveyard. So, Jesus. I think it's Breakthrough Skill.
Yeah. I want Breakthrough Skill, too. Necro Valley.
Yeah.
Necro Valley.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other card is.
Yeah, Necro Valley fucking sucks, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Dark Law versus Marshmallow. Or
Dark Law,
Marshmelon, or whatever it's called.
All my shit fucking goes to the graveyard. I need my shit in the graveyard.
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit vanishes.
Dude, when you played fucking Infernoids, if someone had Dark Law on the field, you're screwed.
Yeah, Dark Law, like, this is a destroyer. And we used to play with a dude named Fat Rio. PH.
Yeah.
And he was a fucking troll of a player, and he always played Dark Hole and Necro Valley.
Right.
And he mixed the two of them one time, and it was like, I'm punching this dude in the face.
Right. This just bounces a card, doesn't it? It's kind of like, isn't it kind of like...
You can't get it off the field.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Oh, yeah, you can't get rid of it.
I'm pretty sure it burns you for 1,000, too.
Fuck that, dude. Anyway, this is still Dark Law.
Yeah, for sure.
Swift Scarecrow. I knew this motherfucker was going to be on here. All right. Fuck Swift Scarecrow. Swift Scarecrow can be annoying, but it's not fucking Grand Mole. Grand Mole sucks. The same guy played this stupid shit. I hate this card. It's the bane of my existence. I mean, do you disagree? Like, do you have anything against Swift Scarecrow?
I haven't seen passion like that in years. I personally love to play Neo Grand Spatium.
Yeah, I bet you do.
But it is annoying when it's on the other side.
That's why you play it.
Yeah, for sure. Shit, geek.
Majesty's Fiend. Gosh, dang it.
Moon Mirror Shield.
Yeah, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That shit keeps coming back, but that's only if you're playing like a road deck, and like, who gives a fuck?
But Majesty's Fiend is only good if, like, depending on what deck you're playing.
Yeah, and if you're playing against Monarchs and their main deck in them bitches,
then it's the best thing ever.
No, it's annoying as fuck. This is the most annoying cards.
Well, that's fair.
So,
well,
me,
okay, if
I'm
you're
going Majesty's Fiend.
Yeah, that's alright. I'm not gonna argue.
Because you gotta play HZs to get around that. Shrink!
Maneater Bug versus Shrink.
I like Shrink. I think Shrink's fire. That was one of my favorite, like, TV show cards.
Yeah. It was a good one.
Look at that artwork. That shit fire, too.
I don't know that I find either of these super annoying. Like, Maneater Bug was really annoying in, like, early Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you can manage to get, like, if you played a Blue Eyes, manage to get your Blue Eyes out, or your Summoned Skull, or whatever your boss monster is, and you just They T-set and pass. You attack. They don't activate a Mirror Force or freaking, something stupid like that. You're like, oh, I'm good to go.
Fiendish Chain, no attacks.
Well, Fiendish Chain has to be an effect monster, I'm pretty sure, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you said boss monster. Most boss monsters.
Blue Eyes isn't.
Yeah,
Dark Magician isn't.
Blue Eyes. I could do Blue Eyes.
Summon Skull isn't.
I definitely got your Summon Skull hanging, dude.
I don't know. Do you find one of these more annoying than the other? Yeah.
He clicked on all this crap.
Hain versus Regeki.
I didn't know Hain. Hain got a nose like a dick.
It's got to be Regeki, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing sucks more.
But I don't even find Regeki that annoying. But I like Regeki's more disappointing.
Regeki's annoying to me now because, like I said, I've been playing a lot of Master Duel lately, and hardly anyone really at least the people I play against. Not a ton of people play Regeki anymore. Because the game's so fast, you want stuff that's like searching, drawing, negating shit, whatever, right? Hand traps are like, a huge thing now because they're so fast. So I don't ever expect a Regeki now. So with the deck I'm playing, I can set up this board where I don't really have like any spell negation or protection because not a lot of people do that. It's just
play it now?
It's called Sword Soul. Sword Soul Tinky.
Sounds like some version shit.
No, it's pretty dope. So, anyways, every once in a while, someone will just drop a Regeki on their first turn. I'm like, fuck.
They made the trap tricks started that.
I know.
That shit crazy.
Regeki.
Yeah. I don't know what that motherfucker does.
All right.
Breakthrough for me personally.
Breakthrough skill versus. Yeah, I can live with that.
Because we already got like the better version of Dark Hole on there.
That's true.
Which I don't think is gonna look at that.
Wow. Necro Valley versus Dark Law.
That's the finals. That's the finals. Necro Valley.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Necro Valley was a little more annoying to me than Dark Law was.
Just because when you get that Necro Valley set up in your corner field slot and all you hear is got you nailed, honey. Yeah. That dude we used to play. Ugh.
Grand Mole versus Majesty's Fiend.
Grand Mole.
It's definitely Grand Mole.
But that's a good matchup though.
Yeah, that's decent. Regeki versus Maneater Bug.
Regeki looks cooler. Necro Valley.
Necro Valley for sure.
Grand Mole.
Definitely Grand Mole. So this one's tough for me. But I think it's Necro Valley.
It is for me.
It's easier. It was easier to get around Grand Mole than it was to get around Necro Valley because
you hit that bitch with like a pulse.
I could never get that freaking MST. Yeah, that's one thing. I seem to always have a compulse in my hand. I could not get that MST to get rid of Necro Valley to save my life.
Judgment Dragon
versus Magic Cylinders. Yeah, I love Magic Cylinders.
Bro, that's such a good card.
Dude, that is like, yeah, it's so great.
Bro, you spicy put one in.
Yeah,
and like you be still in games.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks about it is they change the wording to where it targets, and so that can fuck you sometimes. But Judgment Dragon is just like, there's no limit to it. As long as they have 1,000 life points to spare, they're blowing everything up. So,
yeah.
And in Light Sworns, it's so easy to get out too. Genzo versus Bottomless.
See, Bottomless was like, when we played, it was at 1. So, like, it wasn't really that annoying. Again, like a Regeki is more disappointing. Genzo on the field, you can't play traps.
Yeah, Genzo beats Bottomless.
What?
You can't even activate Bottomless if Genzo's on the field.
Yeah, facts. So I'm going Genzo, that cool looking motherfucker.
Creature Swap versus Swords of Revealing Light.
Bro, who played Swords of Revealing Light like 7 times in a row? It had to be Rio.
It might have been Rio.
Or Michael. I just remember they played it one right after another.
Yeah.
Somehow they had all 3 in their hand and they went 9 turns without being fucked with. So for that memory, I'm going Swords of Revealing Light.
Yeah, I back when before the support came out, my first DDD deck that I ever built, I played Creature Swap in it because you could drop the 0 attack, 0 defense searcher guy and get what you need, and then fucking Creature Swap him with whatever they had on the field.
Put him in tackle and shit.
Oh, I was about to accept it.
Hello? Hello?
What up, gangster?
Oh, what's up? actually filming right now. I'll call you back later. Yeah.
Word? Okay. Yeah. Hit me back, G. Be safe, yo.
Alright, you too, man.
Alright, yo. One.
I don't know what that means.
Who the fuck talks like that?
He's from New York. Hey, I'm a big music video maker, so...
Oh, is that who that is?
I have people call me all the time. Yeah, I'm going with swords.
Yeah, I agree.
I would like to hear the rest of your story about that. You put him in attack mode and smack him in the face for
yeah.
whopping.
You just drop your 0 attack guy that lets you search out it searches the spell card that searches. So then you get another search off that, but then you just creature swap and give them your 0 attack guy and take whatever they got. It's a great turn 2 card.
Yeah.
So I like creature swap. I would be very annoyed if I got creature swapped, but that didn't happen too often. No. Swords sucks.
Storm the Monarch. That's it for me, dude.
Yeah.
That's just so fucking
the Monarch
annoying.
Stormforth is a freaking pain in the ass of a card. Especially if they get that shit that lets you tribute one of your monsters.
That is that. It takes your monster.
Oh,
and
yeah.
brings out theirs.
Yeah, but it's a quick play, right?
Yeah.
And so you could do it on anybody's turn. That's
yeah.
bullshit. That's stupid. My guy! I have no idea why he's on this list. There are so much more annoying cards. Did you make this?
No, I did not make this.
Oh, I love that dude.
I ain't got time to make brackets.
So we had a drama trio, which is annoying. This is the one that summons them to your opponent's field, right? And they basically can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
So you're basically just eating up 3 monster slots. This guy, when he's summoned, you do 1,000 burn damage. Even if I had to play against him, I wouldn't find him that annoying.
I don't know. You made that one dude pretty mad.
Yeah, I was playing a Yang Xing guy. Yang Xing was essentially the counter deck to Teller Knights, and he had me completely locked down. I couldn't Xyz summon, but I had Alsham in the graveyard, and I literally just kept drawing into fucking Call of the Haunteds or Oasis of Dragon Souls and all that shit. And literally, ended up burning him to death, and he was very pissed, and it was fucking awesome.
Oh, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah. I don't know, just for how much I annoyed that guy, I kind of
I was going with homie.
I want to pick the Teller Knight.
Yeah, I was going with Teller Knight for that.
Maiden with Eyes of Blue.
I don't find either of these cards annoying, because that's not even the good compulse.
Versus, what is this?
Backup compulse.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
I don't know what this is called.
It's a trap card basically like compulse.
Yeah, I mean, she basically gives you an automatic synchro with Blue Eyes.
Move her to the next round then.
So.
Because we don't know what that thing does.
Does MST negate? There's MST. Versus one of these hero motherfuckers.
I haven't played that guy.
I don't remember what this one does.
You know why? Because I haven't played him. So I'm going to go MST just because.
MST can't be really.
He put a meme on
it. Yeah. Infernity versus.
Some DDD.
No, this is a Battling Boxer.
Battling Boxer. Gross.
I'm
going Cyber Dragon.
Yeah, Cyber Dragon Infinity. That was a tough card to get around when.
It's one tough cookie.
It came out. Jinzo versus JD.
I'm going Adjustment Dragon.
Yeah, same.
What's that card you play in DDDs that always pisses me off? What's that motherfucker called?
Which one?
That exceeds level 7 or 8.
Oh, the
level 6 guy.
The Vampire Dragon?
Yeah, fuck that.
Well, I started playing that one specifically because you were playing ABCs, and that card just really fucks ABCs up, so.
I'm going Stormfront, though. That shit.
Bless me.
I saw that shit way more than I saw fucking swords.
Well, Monarchs were meta, when we were playing at locals and stuff. But yeah, that card is really annoying. I hate it. Let's put homie through.
Yeah.
Burn you for 1,000.
Cyber Dragon.
Yep. Easy.
I know where this is going. Stormfront for me, man.
Yeah, I also...
Even though I played against way more on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Light Sworn players. That motherfucker's fucking annoying.
Judgment Dragon is you could strike that shit. You could,
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to get Judgment Dragon off the field than it is to stop something they're doing on your turn, you know?
Yeah, that's just going to cost a fuck ton of life points if you do.
I love that a Teller Knight made it this far, but I feel it's
Cyber
got to
Dragon.
be Cyber Dragon.
This is going to be hard.
I mean...
So...
It's tough. So Cyber Dragon, important. Maybe you're probably already thinking this, but important to remember. Not only is it an Omni Negate, it also has the once per turn where you can attach a card on the field to it as a material.
Yeah.
And it gains, I think, 200 attack per material it has on it.
When I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, though, we had 3 of that one where you pick Xyz. They can't Xyz summon anymore.
Yeah.
3 strike, 1 solemn.
Right. So, Cyber Dragon can be a really tough card. There is still nothing, like, it's so annoying to get Stormforth.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that shit.
I'm going Stormforth.
Same.
But I am going
Yeah.
Necro Valley over Stormforth.
Yeah, absolutely. Necro Valley sucks. I hate playing against this card. I'm glad it's not a thing anymore. But
It's a thing to some fucking body.
it is a thing to somebody.
But that's the most annoying Yu-Gi-Oh card bracket. He actually was really passionate and enjoyed this more than I expected. I thought I was going to get a little pop at him, like, oh, I haven't talked about this in forever.
I've been playing so much Yu-Gi-Oh lately.
So,
yeah.
We might do more of these later down the road. Now for the top 5 fantasy movies in honor of the Dungeons and Dragons movie. It's coming out. Here at NotTopical, we're unfortunately poor. And this money you see on screen, that's CGI. That's not real money. Because again, we're poor. So if you want to click in the ad eye in the corner, that video is monetized and we can make money off it. So please go watch it.
And if you click an ad, we make more money. And if you really want to help, there's the thanks button right there below this video.
Back with the podcast, top 5 fantasy movies. He's going to tell you, Nate is going to tell you how the top 5s work.
He's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. Then we trade off number ones. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, we just talk about it once.
My number 5 is going to be The Green Knight.
Still never saw it.
Based on the story, the fable, whatever you want to call it, from way back in the day. Very fun story. Not only do you get a little bit of action, you get a little bit of knowledge put on your dome. You learn a little bit. It asks you questions about yourself. Well, you can relate to yourself, you know. And that just makes for a good, interesting movie. The cinematography is amazing. It's incredible. And there's just a lot of tension because this dude's on a journey for his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Green Knight's a big deal. They build it up to be a very big deal. It feels like a big deal. So, the whole time you're just watching this character, just making sure he's safe so he can get to his impending doom and hopefully come out alive. It's a fun watch. Nice. Number 4, I don't know how much I would call this fantasy, but I saw it on there, so I'm going to use it. Big Fish, my number 4.
Oh, that's a Zemeckis.
Okay. And then 5 and 4, and you.
So my number 5 is Hook.
Arr.
Yeah, exactly. I freaking love this movie. I understand a lot of people don't like this movie. I did not know that a lot of people didn't like this movie until a couple years ago, but it is a very important piece of my childhood. I feel like it encapsulates the fantasy genre really, really well because you have this absolutely like fantastical world. You have some like magic / mythical elements, like he can fly. There's fairies. You got mermaids. All this stuff's going on. The Lost Boys, they don't grow up. And you get freaking Rufio, who, when you're a kid growing up in the 90s, is the coolest motherfucker you've ever seen in your entire life. So, Hook's number 5.
Never seen it, but I do know Rufio's a nearsighted gynecologist.
Yeah. Number 4 for me, say it every time I get to do this. Anytime I get an excuse to put an animated movie on a just regular genre list, I'm going to do it. Number 4 for me is Howl's Moving Castle from Studio Ghibli. It's my favorite Studio Ghibli movie. Every fantasy, it's basically it's very fairy tale-ish in a lot of ways, but you got witches, you got Hal, who's basically he's a wizard, but he's also like a big bird demon. You got talking fires, voiced by the one and only Billy Crystal. So
see him later.
The animation in this is incredible. I really feel like when you take like the fantasy genre and make it animated, you can do so much cool stuff with it that you can't do with live action. But that only works if it's animated well, and this is definitely an example of that.
Plot twist. You used that movie had witches.
Yeah.
They're not witches. They're your wives. Not the anime movie I thought was going to be on your list. You may have another one.
Did you think it was going to be Onward?
No, I thought it was going to be Hercules.
Oh.
Hercules.
Yeah.
You fight dragons, dude.
Yeah, Hercules. It's definitely fantasy, but it's like historical. I don't know. It just didn't seem like it fit on my list.
Interessante. I took a franchise for my number 3.
Oh, you took a whole franchise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Harry Potter.
Okay, well that works out perfectly because I wasn't going to take the whole franchise, but the first Harry Potter is my number 3. So, I'll just change it. Take the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, the first one stands out because there's so much world building inside of the first one.
Yeah.
So that, like, sticks out the fantasy aspect very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But the other movies, they just build on it and give you so much character development that it's impossible not to care for these 3 kids.
Yeah.
Even that sometimes they can be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like friends sometimes, you know,
right.
Or like siblings. It gives you that vibe, that relatability to it, and it makes you care about them even more, I feel like, in that way, in that sense. So because of that, I adore the Harry Potter franchise. I haven't watched it a ton because it's a lot of fucking movies.
Yeah, it is.
But there's a lot of good stuff packed in there, and it's fantasy that I don't mind. Fantasy is not really a genre I go back to a lot. This list, my 6th film was The Seventh Seal, and after that, it was nothing but animated movies if we did a top 10.
Yeah.
So, Harry Potter definitely made it. Very digestible fantasy for Strange Wang.
Yeah. My initial reaction was I was just going to pick one, and I picked the first one because I feel like the first 3 kind of have the most fantasy elements to them. The third one, you get more into the creatures. You get the Dementors. You get Buckbeak, the Time Turner, all that good stuff. The second one is basically like a dungeon, like adventure movie. And then the first one just introduces you to this world and the magic and some of the stuff, right? So I was just going to pick the first one, but I think the whole franchise is a good take. And if you're doing it, I'm doing it.
That was my number 3. My number 2, 55 No Man, swing swords like Conan the Barbarian. I love this motherfucker. He killing snake people. He's fucking big and strong. They said, Conan, what's the most important thing in life? He's talking about pillaging village, raping women, and other stuff. That's when he was bad, but it's a very iconic line because he says crisscross applesauce on the table, and they're having a big feast, and he's just big and shit. It's an amazing scene. But you got the will that he has to spin and everything. You got the revenge plot, the motivation. You saw his parents murdered in front of him. And a beautiful fucking directed scene, too, where you don't need to see James Earl Jones cut the head off, but you just see this little kid's face after seeing his father die. He just has, like, he doesn't know how to react to this, you know? Because especially in the Conan universe, you know, a man had to be a man. So this little boy didn't want to cry. And then you just see the mother's head fall off. You don't see the face. You just see hair and blood, like, fall down past his face. And his, like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And then comes Conan. He's big, strong. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, in turn, I love Conan. And I love that 50 Cent line. It's a good line.
Yeah. So my number 3 was Harry Potter. My number 2 is actually going to be The Princess Bride.
Boy, I think you do this just to be like, Shit, that's number one. You smoking crack?
I had it at number one.
You smoking crack again?
No. I have my explanation prepared.
Princess Bride is my number one.
Mm-hmm.
You get giant unusual rats. That's very
rodents of unusual size?
Yeah.
I don't think they exist.
You have rodents of unusual size. That's fantasy. You'd love to know this movie way better than I do. Eels.
Yeah, the shrieking eels.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a giant, the fire swamp
Pirates.
in itself. You have pirates. You get the, like, medieval, like, fantasy aspect of things. Even though she's not a witch, she's his wife. Yeah. They're still, like, the miracle workers. Yeah. They're essentially some type of wizard.
They have a torture chamber in a tree.
With, like, some odd machine that, like, sucks the literal life out of people. So, yeah.
You got my boy Michael Cotton down there running it. That dude's a weird-looking cat. Like, a six-fingered man. Like, just every weird little scenario.
You got Spaniards, like, everything. Everything you need.
It's just so many weird little scenarios and details that makes this movie so charming. That not only are you falling in love with the characters, you're falling in love with the world. Even the bad guys. We get introduced to 3 bad guys in the beginning. We love Fezzik. He wants to know if you want a peanut. We love Nico Montoya. Fucking adore to death when a Sicilian. Like,
yeah, right.
He's such a fucking ass of himself.
Never started a land war in Asia.
Yeah, like, Wallace Shawn, you gotta love that motherfucker. The Dread Pirate Roberts, you learn who he is. You have this love, romantic aspect of it. And then you get a Prince Humperdinck, and he's a prick.
Humperdinck. Humperdinck.
Like, even in Fright Night, he's an incredible bad guy. Underrated villain of the 80s for sure, in my book. But the Six Finger Man, I love that as well. Because dude gets carved up like a fucking turkey. You can have anything. I want my father back, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I can feel my eyes like welling up right now because there's so much emotion in this movie. There's so much comedy. There's the romance element. It has everything a movie could have in it. Fear, tension for our heroes, doubt, everything you could think about a movie character you can feel in this movie. Perfect breast. Like,
shame to ruin them.
Yeah, like everything's in this movie. Like Miracle Max, one of the most funniest scenes of all time.
Yeah, great scene.
Go away, I call the Brute Squad. I won the Brute Squad.
You are the
Brute Squad. Like, oh my god, the way those lights. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. I can talk about this movie all day. I'm disappointed it's not your number one.
He clearly said to blave, which we all know means to lie.
I don't know why it's not your number one. I'm curious to find out.
So love The Princess Bride. Agree with absolutely everything you said about it. My number one was my Zemeckis from earlier, which is Big Fish. Both of these movies, top 10 movies of all time for me in terms of personal favorites. Love both of them a lot. Really, the reason I switched them, because I initially had Princess Bride as my number one, and then I switched before I came over. It's because of the list. It's a fantasy movie list, so I was just trying to consider what elements I think make a movie a fantasy movie. Princess Bride absolutely has those, but it's not the focus of the movie. It's all in like small doses. There's massive like adventure elements to it, and there's lots of other elements to it. No doubt that it's a fantasy movie because it's on my list. Big Fish is just like the adjective of fantasy would be fantastical. It is maybe the most like fantastical movie I've ever seen. It is also like an over-exaggerated version of a fairy tale of like this guy's dad's life. You got giants, you got little people, you got dudes turning into fishes, you got guys managing to plant fields of daffodils all overnight. You got the town that's like doesn't age, but unless you're Helena Bonham Carter, and then you do age, and it's like, is it death? I don't know. But there's just so many like crazy fantasy elements to that, and the whole movie, you got a witch. The whole movie is this guy's dad's fantasy version of his life. And so the reason I made it my number one is just because, to me, that movie is just like entirely pure fantasy, where Princess Bride is like, it's a storybook being read, and so like it falls back on like the fantasy label just a touch for me.
So which one do you like more?
Oh, The Princess Bride.
Okay.
Like, as like not making a list for a specific genre,
Yeah.
just what movie do you like more? The Princess Bride.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Big Fish.
We're men of action. Lies do not become us.
That is one which I wish was my wife, Helen Bonham Carter, future baby mama for sure. I mean, he's getting up in years. I don't know. Might that label might not be working. We might just be practicing. You know what I'm saying? But to me, the reason why I was even down, like I saw it, I was like, I guess that's a fantasy, because you go back to reality so much.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Fucking nematode. So,
Well, you do that in The Princess Bride too.
yeah, but like you go back more to Big Fish to me, and longer sections and chunks. Like the whole point, like not the point, the whole time he's like going through the garage. Like that's like 3 Princess Bride grandpa scenes, you know?
Maybe. I don't think they're that long, but
So I really like it though, because you do have that mystical fantasy thing blended in.
mm-hmm.
And it's my favorites. So I was going by what's digestible, what's palatable.
Sure.
Also fitting the genre. So it made my list. That movie makes me cry every single time. So does Princess Bride. That Inigo Montoya scene fucking kills me.
Mm.
It kills him too. But Big Fish, I don't even have a dad, dude. And I was fucking weeping. I remember the first time I watched it, I couldn't even see what was happening on the screen because I was just going fucking nuts. I was bawling like a baby.
Yeah.
I was going.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to my honorable mentions: Lord of the Rings and Pan's Labyrinth. It was a top 5 list, not a top 7.
Bruh. I almost made the thumbnail, and I was like, well, I guess I'll wait for him to see if Lord of the Rings on his list so I can like use specific character he said.
Yeah. If
But
this was
not
like
your
a
list.
just like non-biased list, Lord of the Rings would be on there, but it's just our personal favorites. So,
Oompa. Well, that's the top 5. Let us know your top 5 in the comment section below. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.